This video is for anyone who's ever fantasized about going back in time to fix their mistakes and having a do-over. I have an old high school buddy who always talks about the good old days. He can recall every single detail, every person's name, every interaction, what was said.
I remember John Stichioxcanopharcus and Jim Thipnasley-Foss and
It's quite amazing, the florid detail with which he can recount everything that was said, and you go, oh yeah, and I can't. And I used to think, why can't I? Like, that was important to me. I enjoy those times. I look back on them with fond memories, and I always thought it was a great superpower that he had to recall the past in this vivid detail, and I was unable to. But with no disrespect to my friend, all he does is talk about old times. He literally lives in the past. And looking at his life at the moment, despite having a family and kids, he felt the most alive when he was in high school. And I don't know why. Objectively, he has a lot to be grateful for where he is. But there's another cliche to do with the past. It's the fun question most people ask themselves. Number one on the list is, what would you do if you won the lottery? And second to that is, if you had a time machine, you could go back into the past, what would you do? Now, there's usually two answers to this question of, if you could go back into your past, what would you do? One would be reliving moments as they were, spending more time with someone who's passed. But mostly the overwhelming 9 out of 10 responses would be to go into the past and have a do-over, do things differently. With the brain we have now, with our maturity and our experience, many guys would be more confident and courageous. They would ask the cheerleader out. They would date more. They wouldn't be as afraid. They would have more courage, notwithstanding the people that might say, I would have bought shares in Google or YouTube. Most people would want to go back, say the things they never said. They kept their mouth shut. They didn't know the answers to, spent too much time with a certain partner, didn't speak their minds, got humiliated, got walked all over, and now they're a very different person and they wish they could go back. So if you want to go 20 years back into the past and have a do-over, it's effectively adding 20 more years onto your life from now. Now, think about that, because I'm going to touch on this point later on. If we want to go back to the past, then we're always overly nostalgic. We're always wanting to go back in time, fix mistakes. You're not actually quite content or happy enough with what you have now. You're prepared to waste time in nostalgia in your head rather than in real time now. And if you actually want to go back, you may have been at a juncture where there was a fork in the road. Do I choose this job or that job? I happen to go on a coffee date with two women this week, and I really have to choose one or the other. And I don't know which one. In hindsight now, you might think, yeah, the other one was a better choice, the one I didn't pick. What I came to realize is the only way I can have a do-over is, in effect, the only way I can have the time travel experience is to do it now. Otherwise, I'm going to be a person in 10 years wanting to have a do-over right now. Another common do-over is after a bad breakup. You want to get rich, famous, good looking, so you could have this payback moment, which is really just revenge of your ex, where you could bump into them.
Are you sorry you broke up with me now?
As though you would want them wanting you back. You wouldn't take them back anyway. What's the payoff? Yeah, they want me back now. Who cares? You spent all this effort for someone you don't want. It's an invisible trophy. Fuck, our childish mind is so stupid. Look, the reality is that most of us don't want to go back in time to relive experiences exactly as they were. We want to go back and do them better. Do the past over now with the next chick that's like the chick you broke up with, the next job you're choosing between. The time machine fantasy is, in effect, going back to improve our situation when all the odds were against us and nothing worked in our favor as far as we can recollect. And now you can make them work in your favor. So the future you won't even want to come back to this time. So in conclusion, if you do have this time machine fantasy scenario, ask yourself this question. Why is your life so invisible and boring here that you would want to spend all your mental energy straightening picture frames in a past house that does not exist anymore. Straighten the pictures on your current walls. You want closure with the past? You cringe at the embarrassment of the things you didn't say and how you got used and how childish you were. Do it now. Be the guy you wish you were back then now. Pick the job that's right for you now. Because the you in 5 years from now will be fantasizing about this moment and wishing you could have a do-over. This is the time machine you're wanting to go back to in 5 years. Think about it. I hope this video was useful to you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments about your ideas about going back in time to fix things and, this fantasy time travel that a lot of people have. Thanks to all my wonderful supporters here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.